அனைவருக்கும் மாலை வணக்கம். 5W தியேட்டர், உயிர்மை நாடகக்குழு, அடவு ஃபவுண்டேஷன் சென்னை, பிரசன்ட் தியேட்டர் சென்னை, சென்னை தியேட்டர் அகாடமி, பதுவார் ரங்க கேந்திரா பெங்களூர், கல்டாஸ்கோப் மதுரை இணைந்து நடத்தும் நாடக அரங்கில் நடிப்பு முறைமைகள் இணையவழி உரையாடலுக்கு உங்கள் அனைவரையும் வரவேற்பதில் மகிழ்ச்சி அடைகின்றேன். இன்று 8வது உரையாடல். இன்று நம்மிடையே பேராசிரியர் வினோத் வி நாராயணன் பின்னவீனத்துவ அரங்கு மற்றும் நவீன நாடகத்தின் பல்வேறு தொழில்நுட்ப கூறுகள், அதில் நடிகன் நடிப்பு பற்றி உரையாட இருக்கின்றார். வினோத் புதுவை பல்கலைக்கழகத்தில் நாடகத்துறையில் MA நாடகம் மற்றும் அரங்கக்கலை பயின்றவர். இவர் அமெரிக்காவில் விஸ்கான் யூனிவர்சிட்டியில் ஃபுல் பிரைட் ஸ்காலர்ஷிப்பில் ஆய்வு மாணவராக நாடகம் பற்றி ஆய்வு நூல் மேற்கொண்டுள்ளார் மற்றும் நிப்ட் போன்ற கல்வி நிறுவனங்களுக்கு பாடத்திட்டத்தை வகுத்து கொடுக்கும் பேராசிரியராகவும் அங்கு வருகை தரும் பேராசிரியராகவும் பணிபுரிந்து வருகின்றார். தொடர்ந்து அவர் அவருடைய தர்ஷினி ஸ்கூல் ஆஃப் பெர்ஃபார்மிங் ஆர்ட்ஸினுடைய கிரியேட்டிவ் டைரக்டராகவும் பல்வேறு நாடக நிகழ்வுகளை நிகழ்த்தி கொண்டிருக்கிறார். கேரளா மற்றும் பாண்டிச்சேரி தமிழகத்தில் தேடப்படக்கூடிய மிக முக்கியமான நாடக ஆளுமையாக வினோத் இருக்கின்றார். மற்றும் இவர் கல்வி நிறுவனங்கள், தொழில் நிறுவனங்களில் பணிபுரியும் தொழிலாளர்கள், பாலியல் தொழிலாளர்கள் போன்றவர்களிடமும் தொடர்ந்து நாடகம் செயல்பாடுகளை செய்து கொண்டிருக்கின்றார். இவருடைய மிக சிறந்த நாடகங்களாக மிஸ்டர் அண்ட் மிஸ்ஸஸ் மேக்பத், ஆன்டிகன்னி, துறைமுகம், மாதாஹரி, டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன் மற்றும் அட்டம் ஆன் ஹர் லைஃப் போன்ற நாடகங்களை குறிப்பிட்டு சொல்லலாம். மிக மகிழ்ச்சியாக இருக்கின்றது என்னுடைய வகுப்பு தோழரும் என்னுடைய அரை நண்பருமான வினோத்தை உங்களிடையே அறிமுகம் செய்வதற்கு மிக்க நன்றி அனைவருக்கும்.
A very good evening to everybody who is present here. I welcome you all to Day 8 of Acting Systems of Theatre webinar organized by 5W Theatre Group, Uyirmai, Adavu, Prison Theatre, Chennai Theatre Academy, Paduva Ranga Kendra, Mangalore and Kaleidoscope Organization. Our speaker for the day is Professor Vinod V. Narayanan and his topic will be multimedia and acting. Professor Vinod V. Narayanan is an accomplished theatre person, well versed in both academics and performances. Currently placed at the School of Drama and Fine Arts at Calicut University, he is a much sought after research person for many national institutes of repute. He is also actively involved in developing curriculum for institutions like NIFT, which has been recognized on a national level. Apart from his position as assistant professor, he has also completed a tenure as head of the department at the School of Drama. He is a visiting faculty at the National Institute of Fashion Technology. He is also a theatre trainer and has conducted workshops for diverse groups like students, corporate, differently abled, sex workers, etc. His repertoire includes a number of performances and paper presentation, national and international. A product of the Department of Performing Arts, Pondicherry University, he has been a Fulbright scholar at the University of Wisconsin, USA. He is also the creative director of Darshini School of Performing Arts. He loves to experiment in contemporary theatre, exploring the possibilities of various art forms like dance, music, etc. He has tried to incorporate the contemporary social and cultural milieu into his works, and that remains his focus area. His major plays till date are Mr. and Mrs. Macbeth, Antigone, Thuramugam, Matahari, Transformation, and Attempt on Her Life. I welcome you to today's session, sir. Instructions to the participants: please do not unmute yourself at any part of the session. You can post your questions in the chat box. Please avoid sending unrelated messages in the chat box. Thank you. You can continue. You can start, sir.
Good evening, all. Thank you very much for introducing me, Lakshmi, and my dear friend Anis. I'm very happy to be with you because most of them I know. Nasser sir, he was like, I have attended his classes while I was a student at Pondicherry University, and I love him. I love his acting. So very happy to be with him today. Also, many other people from India and Bangladesh, my known people, a lot of students, academics, and also from people from Tamil Nadu, where 8 years I was also into the Tamil theater scenario while I was in Pondicherry. And I'm very happy that 5-6 groups coming together and doing something like in this pandemic situation. I think I understand that they have completed. I mean, this is the third webinar they're organizing, and I think in future they'll be organizing theater workshops and performances also, and very vibrant theater students, research scholars, practitioners coming together. It's really a great thing. I congratulate you, all of you, for this effort. Coming to my topic, it is actually new performance and new performers. That is under like the post-traumatic theater or the post-traumatic performance and digital performance. I'm combining both. There's a reason why I'm combining both. You all know it's a very wide topic. Post-traumatic itself takes a long time to complete, to explain about it. And digital theater or multimedia theater is again another vast area to be explored. Why I'm comparing this, I'll tell you why I'm comparing this. In the contemporary theater, I'm talking mostly these two comes under the bigger genre of contemporary theater. In contemporary theater, like the term theater has somehow turned itself or given a new form, like a performance. So we mostly call it a performance, and the performance also is more now related to life than to a certain stage or a site. So now I'm not doing a performance, though I wish it to be an interactive performance. It's not an interactive performance. Now only I can see you. I will be happy if I can see your faces also, but then there are technical hinges, but okay, fine. So I'm doing a performance here. I'm representing myself, and through me there is a character as like artist, I mean actor or director or the professor, the character which I'm doing. There is a site where I'm sitting. It can be my bedroom, it can be my study room, and that is a space where I am. And the audience again, you are also participating with me, sitting in your rooms, and we have a bigger tool to communicate. That is the digital things which you communicate through the digital gadgets, through the internet, through the new media. So this is a performance again. The performance nowadays, the classroom is a performance, so every activity where there is somebody to receive and somebody to give, and there is a medium, then it can comes under the genre of performance. So just remember this, all my talk will be on it, whether it's post-traumatic or whether it is on multimedia theater. And of course, the actor is the main keyword here because the seminar is on acting. So let me start my performance and let me start acting in a way. And you people also be a active participant, or rather than a passive participant. Of course, some people can be passive participant also. I think I'm clear in it. So talking about my subject, that is post-dramatic. I'm thankful to Munmun Sen. Actually, in her presentation, most of the theory part has been covered of post-dramatic. So I don't want to venture into the theories of what is post-dramatic, because Munmun Sen has already made things clear. I'll just tell some of my viewpoints on it. I'll just introduce about it, a one-line introduction about it, and then I'll go to my own viewpoint or my own ideas on post-dramatic theater, and I will illustrate it by the works which I have done, the works which I have seen, which I have watched, or which I've been part of during my career in Kerala, abroad, in the US, and in Pondicherry and Tamil Nadu. So when I was a student, my professor used to ask me, like, can you define theater, drama, performances? But today, when one of my students asks, this definition has changed a bit by merging all drama, theater, and performance, everything together, as I said before. So in this context, what is post-dramatic or what is post-dramatic theater. It started actually in 1960s and which has been followed since with varied diversions on the initial ideas. Post-dramatic is a term which was coined by Hans Lehmann. Is a German researcher and a theoretician. What he says is that the text or the playwright takes a new form, takes a new role in post-dramatic theater, where the audience also takes a new position, and where the actor becomes a tool in between the playwright and the audience. The play is more of a performative, more interactive, and more pro-audience related, where drama or the dramatic element is very little or not at all there. Drama is not at all there. So you can say where there is no plot, there can be a plot, there cannot be a plot there. I mean, there may not be a plot, or the actor in his hand, he won't have much of what is written by the playwright as a text. In early times, mostly actors dominated. The actors were the playwright. Even in if you see the Greek time, there was a playwright who was an actor, or who was involved in the making of the performance, was involved in the rehearsals, who was there with the actor, telling them what to do, or maybe he also might act. Even in Shakespeare's time, Shakespeare was an aspirant actor. He wanted to be an actor. He was a failure as an actor, but then he was with the actor. He tells actors some lines, some ideas, and then the actor plays on it, and then later on the text is written. Later on the entire play is written, not during the rehearsal. Beforehand, you don't get a text beforehand. Later on, when Ibsen's and Chekhov's period came, there was a written text beforehand, and the playwright need not be present during the rehearsals or even in the performance, during the performance. When Chekhov's plays were performed, Chekhov was not away. He didn't watch the performance. He watched very little of performances, what Stanislavski and all have done. So playwright had a very distinct identity before. And when modernity came, modernity only made the playwright or the writer a big stand of what he writes in a very secluded, his own privacy. He writes a text, he writes a play, and then that will be performed by a group of actors. So actors get a well-written text. Even we know in our own modern playwrights, of the modernity era, if you say Vijay Tendulkar or pardon me, our own Indian the playwrights, they have a written text and we improvise on it, or we make the play according to the text. So later on, when modernity was over, when directors started dominating the arena, the directors had a strong point than the playwright. And of course, without actors, without directors, we can't do anything. So actors was always present from the early traditional period, from the Greek period or early Indian period to the present. So actors has a very important role. The thing is that actors were changing the way according to how the theater devices changed. You might have heard, like when I was a student of English literature, my teacher used to say very strictly for drama, there are few things which are very strict. And that is the AAA. You might have heard about AAA. Author, actor, and audience. So this was a 3 elements which was very important for a performance. There should be an author writes something, author has a text, author has a play, and this is given to transform to an actor, and later on this actor gives it to the audience as a performance. But now what happens is we play with this, we manipulate this. The playwright becomes less important, the actor becomes important, maybe there is no playwright at all, the audience become more important, or the audience themselves takes the role of an actor in an interactive performance. So this AAA, we are playing with it, we are manipulating with it, we are negotiating with the AAA, the actor, audience, and the actor or the audio actor and the audience. So it's very much different from the say from 60s, 1960s, 70s or 80s, where the modernity plays, where the playwright had a dominant role in it. Then you might ask me, what about the playwright in a post-dramatic era? Of course, there is a playwright, there is a text, but what it is, or what other roles they are doing, is what actually comes under the post-dramatic, as Lehman said. In my performance, we have a lot of gadgets together. The actor has to handle more. Actor has to learn to handle objects. So I'm here with my laptop here, my mobile phone here, and a lot of wired things performing. So, and I'm finding it very difficult because I'm not able to see my audience or interact with my audience, because as an actor, I'm used to interact with the audience. So there are a few, let me say few, which Munmun Sen already have told about few people involved in the post-dramatic theater. One is Robert Wilson. Robert Wilson is from New York. It is everyday actor, or the everyday actor and the everyday audience. The barrier between the life and the art is somehow converging, or it is gelling together. And he works more on rather sound rather than words. His words are more into not the written words, not the written lines, but it's more of a sound. Also, the characters are of everyday life, everyday people who are mostly the character, and which is more later on. It is comes like a ritual where the performance itself is fragmented. There is no linearity. It's very much non-linear, and these 2 points are very much highlighted in non-dramatic theater, where there is it is non-linear and also fragmented. Another director and playwright is again from New York. That's Richard Foreman. Richard Foreman's life itself is actually his house, his theater, everything is in the forest, and his life itself is fully involved in performance. He claims that the relationship between the text and the performance, or the relationship between the actor and the audience, is more organic. It's not very simple to explain, but the term what organic is. He uses multiple images and more of visuals. He plays with more of visuals and of actor's body. This body he plays with a lot of nudity in the body. Nudity is again, or body is again, one main point, main highlight in post-dramatic theater, just as multiple visuals. Another name I could remember is Sarah Kane. Sarah Kane, I think Munmun Sen explained about Sarah Kane. Sarah Kane also comes out on stage and without a text, and she makes a text, and it's more of a very it's more related to gender and more of power structure and very highly powerful. All these names you can note down. Their performances are available in YouTube. You can check out later, and I'm just recollecting few of the names. Then there is another name, very important name, that is Tim Crouch. Tim Crouch is a British playwright and actor. He's a playwright, he's a director, he's an actor. Tim Crouch, what Tim Crouch does, Tim Crouch, one play author. Let me tell a few words about it. Tim Crouch comes to a stage, and actors, audiences are unaware of what is happening, and he tells the storyline, 2 or 3 storyline. The other, it's about a rape scene happening, and there is no rape shown, or there's no sound of a rape. But then he calls out from the audience who don't know anything about this play, was not watched this play before, was not read this play about before, and tells to be a character, to depict a character that is the raped victim's father. And such the play goes on. And both of them together on the stage, he comes with a notebook like this, and he writes a play. He does the role of a playwright, and he starts writing about the play. So the play is written on stage, on spot. So every play will be different because the audience are different. Audience becoming the actor is different. So the actor is audience themselves, and Tim Crouch, the playwright himself. So that's how he deals. His another play is The Oak Tree. In Oak Tree also, the character is a psychologist, a hypnotist. He kills, or in an accident, a lady is murdered, and the lady's father later on comes to him to for a psychological consultancy, and thus the play begins. It's again a studio performance in a very small area, and he objectifies. He makes all objects, takes another object and makes it an oak tree or something else. So he plays with the objects in it, and such it goes. Another playwright is Martin Krim, and I am very much related to this Martin Krim because his play Attempts on Her Life. I've done Attempts on Her Life, and this was the Attempts on Her Life for School of Drama 2 to 3 years before. And this play, actually I have done of 17 scenarios, and I've done the 17 scenarios. 1 or 2 scenarios have been done in Pondicherry University by a different director in Delhi. The full-fledged show happened it's a very much copyrighted text and all. You can't, I can't do that. I mean, I can't post it in YouTube without his permission. He has told that I can use it for academic purpose, not for any theater festivals. So these are the playwrights, what I can tell about the post-dramatic theater. So I'll shift from post-dramatic, and I think I can show some pictures and then explain. So as an actor, so you just imagine from 1960s in India, we can say like from the 21st century onwards, how somebody's asking for the spelling of it. Okay, later on I'll write down the playwright's name. So how actors has to undergo or has to change, has to deviate from the so-called set notion of an actor. So actor becoming spectator, spectators becoming actor, actor becoming the playwright, actor writing. That I can explain it through photographs in my later on of my session. So as I said, there was a trend of adaptation or adapting. If you just remember a place 30 years before or 20 years before, we adapt Shakespeare, we adapt a lot of Shakespeare, adapt into our own cultural milieu, and we feel it is an Indian play. I had another paper on Indian Shakespeare. So we adapt Greek plays. Antigone was everywhere in India. Antigone and Oedipus Rex was performed in, again adapting into our own milieu. So this trend was gone, and the performance making or theater making or devising, we started devising theater, we started making theater, and something new text evolved, new actors evolved. In that, there was a major experiment happened was with the multimedia. So multimedia, you can't say it's something new. Even Brecht has used, Strindberg has used multimedia before. Even in a different way, like Shakespeare used placards. So there are different medias used. Paintings has been used. Puppetry has been used. So, and if you come to Tamil scenario, in Tamil Sangeet Nadagam or Tamil theatre, Sabha Nadagam as it called, there were a lot of projections. Basically, initially it was like the lighting gobos. You can find sky and the god coming from the sky, or there is a sea or the river shown in lighting gobos, or the sun rising from a hill through the lighting. Even now, people use lighting gobos in a different technological sphere. So after lighting gobo, we started experimenting with pictures. That was the old slide projectors. Through slides, projecting through slides, it was projected. Even in Tamil Nadu, a long time ago, pictures were projected, and also videos were projected using the bioscope, recorded videos. And I heard a story. I don't have the authenticity of it, so I can't authentically say that there was a production, and I think Balamani, her name was the actor's name. She was projected with the nude figure, nude breast and all, and something, I think it's a bath scene or something. It was projected on her. And for watching this performance, there was a special train running from Chennai to Madurai to watch this performance. So it is, so digital, I mean, you can't say digital, but projection and multimedia usage was there from early, before independent era itself. There's nothing new to India. We started experimenting it, I think, from 80s and 90s and 90s in 2000. And later on, there was a lot of multimedia interventions. And how actor goes with it. Like, there are something called recorded performance. We record a performance and we project it. For example, Abhilash Pilla's Vartagris play, there are projections, and where the actor, that's a play which I have, a live camera, which was brought into the audience, and the audience can react into it. Okay, the play is happening. How is the play going on? Is it good? Or what all? And the audience started reacting to the camera, and that was shown on a screen. The screen itself went on turning. The screen itself was not a sphere. We are mostly used to square and rectangular screens. The screens was again a circular screen in later on productions. The screen can be like multi-layered, as you see in Jyoti's Sagaraganiga. It was like 3 screens, and we started using boards, digital boards instead of screen. The screen was projected on. It was on the roof as of one of School of Drama's production, a Spanish collaborative production, Lila. The Lila project, we had a screen on top like this. The audience can see on top the play. And I have acted in the play. So, but I was not on stage. I was on the recorded performance. It was, the Leela was the play on Ramayana, based on Ramayana, and Sita was the main character, which was played by a Spanish actress and few of my students. And I did a major role in it, and that was Ravana. But Ravana never comes on stage. Ravana is on the screen, and Ravana is not interacting, but then Sita and Ravana's conversation is happening or on screen. So I traveled to Spain also, I can say, in that way, because not in real life, but in the recorded scenes. So as an actor, I was not in the play of Ram Leela, but then Leela, the play called Leela, the Spanish project, but I was there on the screen. And the screen was like, there are a few other actors, my colleagues, Ambli or acted was, and her screen was like very small. Only her head is visible, and it travels from one end to another end. Her character travels from she was doing some narrative role, and the narrator travels from one end to the other. So the actors need not be present on stage. Also, actor can be on a recorded platform. So then we had tremendous experiment on these digital this thing. I'll come, before I go to more digital thing like 3D mapping and augmented reality or holograms and all. Let me show, otherwise I'll lose my time. I'll show some pictures. It is of some performances which I have watched and some of my performance, and then I can explain more about it. So as I select from project side projections or multimedia use here, there was puppetry, there was painting, and there was slide shows, lighting gobos, video projections on the screen, and the projection was not only on the screen, maybe on the actor's body also. Even in a very recent performance I watched, there were projections on the body, and people can watch the body. The actor's body becomes the screen, and the audience watch the performer and the performance emotions, the performance acting on his or her face, also the projection on their bodies. So again, from all such projections, we turn to VR and then AR, that is augmented reality. It's nothing, very small digital interventions have happened at School of Drama by my students also. You know, the gaming is very popular. The games were used for children's performances. While a performance is there, a digital gaming happened, and there was a guy who was traveling from one place to another, and the entire space used to change by the projected scenes. In the scenes, there was a door, and the door opens in the scene, and the character enters. Such performances have happened in student performances. And also, you know, very popular things like the talking tom. The talking tom was used in a performance where the character talks through the talking tom. So the sound variation, everything comes like that. It was used in children's theater productions at School of Drama. So various elements of these digital technologies were used in performances. So in that way, you can say it's almost like a mixed reality or a mixed medium happening on theater. I'll present, I think a few plays. So this is a play, I should make it fast. This is a play which is Martin Krim's attempts on her life. And there's a character, the protagonist is not visible in the play actually, but the entire narration happens on the character Anne. So who is Anne? Who is Annie? Who is Annie? Who is Annie? This is the entire conversation here. And these are 17 scenarios, and these are few scenarios. I also incorporated Kathakali representing Annie. This character is again, it's from Nalicharitam, but again it is the character Anne. So I'm representing everywhere Annie. Annie in the mobile as a pornography. They're watching a pornography where Anne is a character. So everywhere Anne is a character. This is again Annie in a club. So Martin Krim's play, it is very powerful text actually, but he gives immense freedom. There is no name for the character. He writes hyphen, hyphen, hyphen. And we can actually read from the text and find out the invisibility. The invisibility in theater again is one major thing in post-dramatic performances, where you can read out the invisibility, and because the play happens in the audience mind. So as a director, from the playwright Martin Krims, I have got these ideas, and then I have created my own play actually by the students, and the actor created their own character. This character is not there in Martin Krim's play, but it's a transgender which the actor created. This is again another very subgenre of the post-dramatic theater is performance art, and I'm not dealing much about performance art because Munmun Sen have already shown some videos of performance art. Mariano Abramovich's performance and also I'm not, but this is my performance art which I did recently. This is a blind prophet. This again, I'm interacting with the audience. I'm making the audience talk to me. I'm making the audience dance with me, and the audience comes to me and tells whatever they want to know. I'm standing here as a prophet, and I'm giving them advice. So this is the entire performance. Okay, this is a performance which I have watched. You can say that I have been part of the performance also. This is a performance by a Scandinavian director which was performed in 2017 in ITFOK, International Theatre Festival of Kerala. And this is the ultimate performance I've seen for post-dramatic, because there is nothing, just a table and a lamp, as you see in the picture. There is nothing else. There's a table and there is no actor, no director, nothing is there. And we wait for the performance. There's a table and nobody's coming. And slowly we understood the trick of it. And director is somewhere hiding behind with the camera, that's all. So the audience comes and finds an envelope. There's an envelope on the table, as you can see that lady is picking an envelope. And there is some dramatic things only. There is something about a suicide. Somebody has committed a suicide and you can speak on it. So this happened in 2017 in Thrissur International Theatre Festival. So we started speaking about it. Another character enters and the actors themselves interact with each other and their storyline is made. We had like two performances a day for 3 days. So each performance was different, and I was there for 3 performances, and I also was a part of it. I did a very major part of it, and there was some objects kept, like a fire extinguisher. There was a bucket, and there was a matches. So some people just lighted the envelopes, and there was fire on it, and such a performance happens. So this is and we can film, we can come interact, and later on. The director and interact. This is the director. Seeing that white guy is the director, and we are interacting with him. It's also again a part of the performance. Another performance, again, I want to talk one thing, that is performance space, as Tim Crouch performed his play England inside an art gallery. So the space is more site specific nowadays, and the space itself is the settings. We don't need any other scenery for the space. So this is a play I performed in Kottayam Art Gallery. The play is something very different, but it's a different play which I performed earlier. But here I collaborate with the artist. I see his paintings, and then I improvised on spot in the art gallery. Whose play? So very little audience whom we can accommodate inside an art gallery. Okay, I'll switch on to another play inside Thrissur Art Gallery. This is H2SFO, sulfuric acid. It was an artist, my friend Dinesh, who had an exhibition on sulfuric acid victims or acid burn victims. So he had paintings on it. So it was again multi-dimensional, like there's a painter, there's a painting, and there was a documentary on the real life, real victims. So I watched the documentary, the actors watched it, and the actors were a part of an actor installation. Installation theater is again another big area. So actor was installed, installation, and actors was reacting. Some audience were very much emotionally reacting also to this performance. I have only very few photographs of it. See, this is the painting, this is the art gallery, and you can see how multidimensional in many various sides actors are watching, how close they are watching. As acting with H2SO4. Very minimal lines. They're just sitting actually. So the audience who comes to watch the gallery, they watch the performance, can watch the paintings, can also watch the real actors sitting very close to them. Pardon me. This is a digital performance in an earlier stage. It's actually a theater game I improvised in 2 days workshop. Behind the car, people are sitting elsewhere, and with a camera, live camera, is a sort of a digital intervention. See, so hitchhacking. The game is called hitchhacking, and see, these characters are all improvised. Like there are Spider-Man coming up last, and there's a ghost coming and taking away the car. So this was again another digital play which I've done. This is my earlier play which was done in Pondicherry, that is Macbeth. Just to show this, there was a screen and there was chatting happening. This was early in 2004. where you can see the chat box, Macbeth chatting with uh, the witches. And the lines you can see only the IDs have changed. IDs are witches and Mac 2000 something is his ID, Macbeth's ID. And the chat box, the chattings are actually real Shakespeare's lines. See again, there is again a Gujarat genocides being portrayed as visuals. And here again, puppetry. The witches comes as puppets, as leather puppets. Speaking in Tamil, the Shakespeare's lines itself into a colloquialized local puppetry language in Tamil. So this visual was shown. This is nothing. In the early times, we have this music video, all these things going on, you know. So that was projected to show the mind, the psychological thing of Macbeth. Again, another big area is in contemporary theater where you experiment with the space. Different sort of spaces are used. The big street is used. The entire street can be used in mobile. The entire building where you can use a first floor, then the second floor, you can use a lift. And I've done a very small improvisation stuff of things in Amrita University where the lift was used, where the first and second floor was used, the ground was used, the audience travel along. So this was again a play at the Sangeet Academy. I mean, the town hall of Thrissur, where the town hall was converted into a stage. The audience see from below. This is again a performance called Green Man from Poland. So he just goes to the street dressed as a green man, as a creature or some alien sort of guy. And the audience, so he interacting with the policeman. He's going inside the car. He's sitting inside the car. Okay, this was another performance where the entire space is changed. There is no script. There is no text. There is only performer. There is only actor and the audience also interacting with the actor. This is again another performance by Rin Mi from New York. The entire play happens inside a swimming pool. We at the School of Drama also, Shibu S. Kottaram has directed Karnabara, where there was a pool was used, a man-made pool, a round pool was used, where the characters, most of the characters were inside the water, inside the. Here is again just a real swimming pool, and they were playing inside the swimming pool where audience sit all around. So how the side changes. Another area where contemporary theater or the post-traumatic theater intervene is the memories. This is another theater of memories where our own memories we depict this as our own narrative, personal narrative, subjective narrative. We go to the memory, get a dramatic event, and then we portray it. So there is no playwright here. There's no text here. The text is the actor's text. The memory is the actor's individual memory, and the actor is presenting it himself. This is again my hospital memories play, where these girls were presenting their own memories about hospital, about some death happening. Somebody was sick in the hospital, and what happened? Yeah. So this was hospital memories, and I kept a live camera, and their facial expressions were visible on a larger screen. And it ends like this lady, Parvati, her memory was different. It was like she was having a baby. She's a mother of a 3-year child that time. And when she got, delivered, she can't see the child. She was not able to see the child. The child was kept elsewhere in the neonatal care. And when she saw the child, that moment she was explaining, when first time she saw the child after 1 week or something. And later on, what I did, I don't have the picture of it. I put that moment picture. She had that moment picture where she was, and that the child's face was shown in a close-up. And so we are devising it. We're creating with individual memory, where the actor writes a text or actor speaks his or her own text, and then actor presents it. This is again my play which was widely performed, where the object is a car. It's a Dalit play, Transformation. Its name is Transformation, and you can see how the actor himself is a driver, and the actor has to drive, show the acting by using his driving skills. The audience are all around. He has to drive in a way as depicting the car also as a human, or the car itself as a living thing. Because in post-traumatic theater, we have the semi-human things. Human itself becomes a semi-human, and the object also becomes like a. So this is the play Transformation. Okay, this is another play which I have watched, where our students acted with this group from Spain, from Poland, is arrived. They just takes a briefcase and just walks around the city of Thrissur with a lot of students. I don't have time, so I couldn't show the photograph, just a poster of it. From Spain, he was there with us for a workshop, and then we performed this. This is another, you just see the actors elevated since Carmen. The play is Carmen, again, Theater Petrowski from Poland. And see how the height of the actor. And audience see them as giants. See, this is Carmen from Poland. This is another play which I wanted to talk to you. I thought I'll talk to you about it elaborate. This is Imagining O. Imagining O is a play which was performed in New York, and also by Kent University students at School of Drama, where the actors were not, but we did the stage management actually. So it was by Richard Schechner. How the actors are doing repeated, just the actors were static, and they were doing repeated movements, and the audience can go through. It's immersive theater where audience can come and watch the performer in a very close encounter, and such the performance happening. We don't have so much time, so I think I will switch on to, I'll stop my presentation here, and I'll tell, I think the presentation has stopped. Yeah. Okay. So we have numerous kind of theater happening. This verbatim theater, where I've watched a performance in the United States, that is Vagina Monologue. Vagina Monologue is again a narration where individual ladies comes and narrates about what the playwright has written. It's about females, it's about rape, it's about the problems of females facing. So they incorporate each performance, the actor incorporates her own memories on the play, and that was very powerful, which is very, the play is very famous. Vagina Monologue. You can go through it in the internet. So that comes under verbatim. We in Trivandrum also something similar has happened. Even you can do play when the flood happened. You can record live interviews. We can take notes on the people talking. Then the actor can present. Maybe a victim also can be called onto the stage to the side, and they themselves can perform in verbatim theater. There are many things I think I should wind up. I think I should a lot of things like installation performance, there's immersive performance, verbatim, and then comes the digital. There's another performance happened where the actor does colonoscopy. You know, colonoscopy, for you put inside the tube, light tube inside, and you can see the parts where it goes into the stomach, inside the stomach, and that was projected by using colonoscopy. I have not watched this performance, just news. I mean, I have heard about it just because it's how an actor goes to an extent of doing himself a colonoscopy in front of an audience. You know, I just wanted to tell you that incident. So that's how an actor works on today's contemporary arena. Okay, and then there are some plays where mutilation happens. You mutilate your body, you write with your blood. Okay, you shave off your facial hair. There was a lady happened in Thrissur before. There's a glass cage, and where the lady comes in and then she shaves off all her hair. So that's another. Again, it comes under the performance art. There was a play in which was done by Harish, in National School of Drama, where he was living inside a transparent cage for many days, and people can observe him living. So how life and performance comes together. We had our Pambuvela Idam before, he was living inside it was not actually performance then, it was in early 80s, I watched in my childhood. He lives with thousands of snakes inside a cage. Later on, he died by snake bite. That was a performance. Actually, now we can call it as a post-dramatic performance or a performance art, where he was living with snakes for many days, for 10 to 15 days inside a cage with snakes. So such performances are happening, and you just can imagine how actors are changing, how new performances are emerging. In digital, we have these, as I said, the 3D mapping came in between. So again, the laser technology, only the laser lights going around, and I have two videos. When you write the questions, I think we can play the video about 3D mapping. And augmented reality again came to our recently. Teachers, primary school teachers, because of this pandemic, for teaching purpose, augmented reality is shown. One teacher comes and then she narrates about animals. There are virtual zoos available where we can see the animals in front of us as augmented reality. So why not theater also adapt it? Not, I think India, I don't know whether some people have done it in a full scale, in a very smaller scale, yes, but not in a very larger scale. It needs bit technical training for it. So actor has to interact with an invisible body, invisible, maybe it's an animal or maybe human. This has been shown in fashion shows, in musical events, even in India, mainly in dance performance. All this technology, mainly contemporary dancers use it usually. So in that has been shown. Not in theater, it's very novel actually in India, but in holograms and augmented reality have been experimented in. So just imagine how when a hologram, when a augmented reality comes, how actor performs. Even in Chennai, in some performance, it was shown augmented reality. One horse with the wings coming into the stage. In IFFI, the peacock, their logo peacock coming down to the stage in augmented reality. In Make in India, the lion coming on stage as the Make in India release function. And I think you can play the video, Lakshmi. First, the 3D part of it, and then 3D mapping. Mapping is nothing but just like lighting, rays of lighting which goes around, and the actor has to be so precise where he stands, where he takes the hand, because there is another thing coming up with him to be synchronized. So first show that 3D mapping, and then the Lakshmi. Can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Please show that video on 3D mapping and then the augmented reality. Meanwhile, okay, if somebody has questions, they can ask. Installation theater, can you elaborate? Yeah. Installation theater, there are installations what artist does in an art gallery or outside the gallery, and the artist himself becomes an actor, and he can be a part of the installation. Audience can, maybe there is something you can relate to the installation and then talk about it. Sulekha Chaudhary has done a lot of installation theater in India. Also, there are many experiments which I also plan to do is about the archaeological stuff. You go into an old case. What I'm planning is to go into the divorce cases and take the pending files from divorce cases, and then make a play out of it where you have the petitioners, the respondents, and the judgment together. We have the three. So that is again archaeological sort of play. So everywhere let this experiment happen, and you all people also please do such new novel experiments and be new performers for the new performances. So I'm winding up here. I can answer a few questions. I can take few questions. I think I can take another 5 minutes to answer a few questions. Okay, over to Lakshmi. Over to Lakshmi.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Should I play the video or should I ask the question?
Video. Just for 2 minutes. That's enough.
Okay.
One video for 2 minutes, another for 2 minutes.
Sir. I have the augmented video ready, sir. Should I play that first?
Which is first? Okay, anything. Anyway, you don't have the 3D one? 3D.
I have 3D one, sir. I'll play that first and then I'll play.
3D one first, please. Why you doing all these in theater? See, I mean the digital one. See, our life itself is more digital. We also much multitasking. We have our mobile phones every time. Mostly, we do chatting. Then we watch TV. Then we have a call coming up. So our life itself is more, then why not theater? Sir, can you name some of the books that is helpful for direction? Of course, there are direction books which I will write down, and I think the group people can circulate it. Definitely. There's Anne Bogart's The Director Prepares is a good book. That's what I remember, the latest one. Can you suggest performances to follow the teams? Can you suggest performances to follow the teams that are very progressive so that we can go and know about their ideas? Definitely, that also I can list a few. Can you bring some name of the books for becoming an actor? Yeah, there are a lot of acting books. Yes, I'll keep in mind. Can you hear the audio? Also play it when speaker is not on. Okay, fine. Please.
Yes, please.
No, I'm not able to see it.
Kindly pin Lakshmi, sir.
Yes. Okay. Okay, Lakshmi. Now you can show the next video, augmented reality. Here there is a performer, only one performer actually. She's singing, and the rest are augmented reality. And see how they are interacting. You can watch all these videos. There are a lot of videos in YouTube. Just type augmented reality performance, or also 3D mapping also available. So you can just see. Okay, fine, Lakshmi. Fine. So thank you very much. I think there are no more questions. I've almost answered a few. They've asked for some guidelines about books and some groups and all, which I'll post later on.
Okay, sir, sure. We will forward it to the
Any other questions? Please send me the video links. Okay. Considering the level of expenditure happening these days in theater, okay, I think then we'll wind up. I think I've answered most of the questions. There are no more questions.
Thank you, sir.
What kind of contents do normally at theater? Okay. There are a number of things. So yesterday I had a haircut, myself, I cut a haircut. So I was doing my trimming, and this can be a performance. Why I cut my hair? Because I don't want to get cold or cough. Why if I get cold, my immunity will go off. And you can do this as a play through a video conference like this about pandemic, about corona, about COVID. My haircutting relating to the pandemic. So you can make play by anything. Explain augmented reality. I think we are out of time. I think maybe later on. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for
Yeah.
taking your time out and doing this. It was we enjoyed so much listening to you the past 1 hour. Thank you for sharing all your experience, sir. It was
I
wonderful.
couldn't actually get the reaction, this if it was interacting, people,
Yes.
I couldn't really get that. So I was
Yes,
struggling with
yes,
it. Okay,
yes,
fine.
yes. But then we
Hello,
have
Vinod.
like so much of feedback in the comment section, so you can
Okay,
read them.
fine.
Like everybody
Thank-
enjoyed the session. Thank you.
Hello,
Fine, fine.
Vinod.
Ani சொல்லுங்க.
Yes.
Hello. Vinod. Hello.
சரி, சொல்லுங்க.
யாரோ கொஸ்டின் கேக்குறாங்க.
கேளுங்க.
Somebody question.
Yeah, ask. Wonderful performance. Thank you, Purnima.
Muhammad. Hello.
Muhammad, yeah.
Hello. Muhammad? Hello, Muhammad, ask your question. Hello? Hello? Muhammad?
Mohammed, unmute yourself, Mohammed. You're muted.
Hello. Could
Yeah,
you hear
Mohammed.
me? Anis,
Yes,
yeah.
please, Muhammad. Yes, I can hear.
Thank you, Vinod. It's a very nice session from you. Actually, I'm so glad and feeling so well. You have allowed me to join your session from Dhaka, Bangladesh. Actually, from more than 25 years, I again meet with you both. And
Yes.
I am just remembering Nazir sir, when I
Nasir.
was, Nazir sir, when I was in Pondicherry University, Drama School of Performing Arts. Then I met him in 1994-95 session. So after a long time, I meet.
Hello.
Hello. Cut ஆயிடுச்சு.
Okay, fine. Shall we wind up then, Anish?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Sure.
okay, thank you very
Thank you,
much.
Vinod. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anish. Thank you, all of you, and
Thank
it was wonderful time together. Okay, thank you.
சார் சார் ஏதோ பேசுறாங்க நினைக்கிறேன் சார்.
Sir,
இல்ல,
sir.
இல்ல.
Okay.
No,
Thank you,
it
Vinod.
was it was a nice session, Vinod.
Thank you, sir.
I know you cannot sum up in 45 minutes.
Yes, that's
it
right,
needs a
yes.
very long thing because
Long time.
unlike other theories, because it is very interpretive, very modern, and it doesn't have a particular form, so it spreads
yes.
out
True.
as it required. But it is wonderful to spare your time with us. Maybe later we'll have a longer session, or we'll
Sure.
pick up only one topic and discuss in
Definitely.
elaborate. But it is
Definitely.
wonderful. It was a learning for me. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you everyone.
you, Anish.
நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.